Today I would like to discuss how I would train with just calisthenics if I was still a competitive athlete. Truth is, sometimes as an athlete, what's in the bandwidth just doesn't gel with what you're asking of your body in the gym. You should be seeking efficiency when trying to get better via a strength practice. A strength practice is to supplement your efforts and goals as an athlete, not to take away from your progression as an athlete, regardless of the route you take, the route you choose, whether it's the strength practices via calisthenics or gymnastics or weightlifting and bodybuilding. I think too many people get caught up on what's more effective, and honestly, it's different for everyone. I want to be very clear. I come from weightlifting, and I would probably return to it. All I have currently done is have an honest conversation on what I can currently handle. As a father, husband, full-time truck driver, I'm busy, and weightlifting right now is just too much of a tax on my body, meaning I'll have a steeper price to pay, a bigger sacrifice when it comes to recovering from my strength training session if I did it via weightlifting. And to take in consideration that I'm also a delivery truck driver, right? So I'm lifting boxes all day, taking it to restaurants and dropping it off. So calisthenics is just that break I need from lifting. For you, it might be completely different, and that's okay. Again, the most important thing to do is something that's challenging you each and every day, right? You got to look at resistance, embrace resistance, and conquer it. Get on the other side of that each and every day. Now, again, as an athlete, I would like to restate that the most important thing is your skill development, right? Your practice. One mistake I personally made when I was an athlete was worrying too much about increasing numbers in the gym, squatting more, benching more, thinking that these things would directly correlate to better performance, whether it was via football or on the mats, right? And that couldn't be furthest from the truth. The number one thing that's going to make you better at your sport is actually becoming more skillful in your sport, right? Being more efficient with the movement patterns that your sport requires, right? Whether it's wrestling, right? Getting more efficient with double leg entries and just mastering that. Now, again, the weight room, whether it is via calisthenics or whatever practice you choose, it can help enhance the power output. But again, it's to supplement this. You can't become a gym rat and now your skill acquisition training and your wrestling practice begins to dwindle, right? And that's a point I make to all my clients when I'm working with them, is to tell them, like, look, training is good and I'm glad you're doing it. And I'm glad you're looking to become stronger, faster, more explosive. But again, the number one thing is your skill acquisition. Don't think that your strength training practice is to overtake that, right? So again, don't get caught up on what's more effective and just do something to really get those adaptations you're looking for. But again, skills pay the bills. So make sure you becoming better at your respective sport. Now, when I first got into the world of calisthenics, the one problem that I was looking to solve is how can I incorporate this style of training and make it as athletic as possible, right? And is there a correlation between, let's say, gymnasts and actually becoming a better athlete? And through my deep research, it seems to actually gymnasts and calisthenic athletes, these masters of their body through space, actually correlate to sports very well, right? Especially if you look at like plyometric training and jump training, sprinting, all these athletic expressions, right? Very potent athletic expressions, I believe, fall under the calisthenics umbrella, right? So that's one thing I've been heavily considering, and I do religiously almost 2 to 3 times a week. I'm making sure I'm doing some kind of jump training and I'm doing some kind of sprinting, right? And I'm also focusing on plyometrics, right? Whether it's upper body plyometrics, a lot of clap push-ups, just working on becoming as explosive as possible and being able to distribute and produce force over a period of time, right? That's where plyometric training is very effective, right? So now, another problem you might run into, right? So the only way I can explain this is by sharing my personal journey and where I'm currently at and why I still chose to train like an athlete, right? Even though I'm currently not competing, right? Even though maybe one day in the back of my mind is a selfish endeavor of mine, I would like to get back into competition of some sort, just to challenge myself, just to hold me accountable with my training and just put that dog on my back, right? I believe every man should rise to a challenge, take on a challenge, right? And see it through, right? It's a great thing to go through a process of preparing for battle in whatever endeavor and arena it is, right? It could be in finance goals, whatever it is, man. Just having a challenge to push forward to a goal to aim at, right? So selfishly, for me and my personal development, I would like to get back out there. But the reason I still choose to train like an athlete is personally, my identity as an athlete is embedded in my mind, right? Just that background of football that I have, then transitioning into MMA and jiu-jitsu, and it's just how I choose to express myself each day, right? And then push comes to shove, I just realized that with the research I've done, that training this way via sprinting and plyometrics, it does fall under the umbrella of calisthenics, and it also preserves that twitchiness of your muscle fibers, right? One thing that the research shows is that in people in their 30s, pretty much is non-existent that do any kind of sprinting, right? Maybe even after their 20s. And this is detrimental, honestly, right? The first thing to distinguish or leave someone is their fast twitch muscle fibers, right? They begin to become dormant in somebody. And the way you counter that is by training this way, right? So again, even though you're not an athlete, I still think that it's a fun way to train. Not only that, it's a performance-based way to train. You can be in your 30s and your friends could hit you up, right? It could be a young buck that challenges you on a basketball court, football field, whatever it may be, on the mats, and you'll be able to hang with them because you choose to embark in this style of training, right? That concludes this video. I hope you guys got some value from this video, and please subscribe to the channel if you did get any value. Like the channel, help the channel grow. It's a way you could support a small creator. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Done.